Hey guys, it's Lauren Yates from Rave It Up here, and I'm privileged to be here today with Brendan Irving. How you going, Brendan?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic. Thank you for coming on the show and having us here in your little cozy dressing room at Sydney Lyric Theatre. I've actually been trying to get you on the show since I think Rocky Horror Show. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So thank you for finally coming on.
That's all right.
Yeah, so welcome to Rave It Up. Now, you are currently playing the Stalker in the Bodyguard Musical, which is definitely a different role than Rocky in the Rocky Horror Show. So how does it feel to be in such a well-known musical?
It's similar to Rocky, as in similar to Rocky Horror. It's always nice to be a part of something that people are responding well to before they even come.
Yeah.
So something that people already have a positive feeling about, or just some sort of feeling about. You're not having to sell them a concept or an idea. They know it, they're excited about it, they've seen it, or their mum loves it, or their girlfriend loves it, or whatever. And so they come ready to enjoy it. So, and that was the same as Rocky Horror. People come ready to enjoy it because it's got a legacy already. So it's always nice to not have to make that push. You know, that hard work is already done for you before they've sat in the seats.
Do you think the expectations are really high though, and you've got to meet that?
That's a really valid question. Yes, I guess so. The good thing is with the Bodyguard is obviously, you know, that was how many years ago now? 20? No.
20, yeah.
25?
Over 20,
25?
I think, yeah.
92 to 17, 25. Please tell me that's right, because it's on camera.
We'll just pretend it is.
And so people have forgotten it, or it's dated, and so it's always going to live how it was going to live in that medium and in that form, and so people will be open to something new. I don't want to keep deviating back to Rocky, because obviously we're speaking about Bodyguard here, but Rocky was a whole different story because it has a legacy and people are very much in tune with that legacy, and if it's not what they want it to be, they can get very upset because they get very attached to it. Luckily we had Richard O'Brien on our side with that show, so it very much had his legacy.
And Rocky was already a musical, and the Bodyguard wasn't, so you've at least got that on your side.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I think people, no matter what you think this is going to be when you come to it, it's not going to be that. Unless you've seen the sort of footage of the show already, in which case you're already
Why are you watching
the
footage?
Excited.
It just ruins it.
Yeah, but you're going to be surprised no matter what if you come to this show, because it's got so many elements that the movie doesn't have.
Yes, I noticed that. It's a little bit for everybody as well.
Yeah,
it's fun.
fun.
Are you a fan of the movie yourself?
I love the movie.
Did you have to rewatch it before rehearsals and stuff?
Good question. I didn't watch it before the auditions because I try not to do that whenever there's well, it's actually this is the third musical I've been in that has either come from a movie or was made into a movie. And I try not to watch the movie because I don't want to mess with my own head and my own instincts. But yes, then I do watch it just out of curiosity, of course, and because just, you know, it's a bit of research. So I watched it again recently, and it's very different to what I remember. I remember as a kid thinking, why is she going for the old guy? Why? And then I rewatched it and I was like, oh, he's not that old. He's probably my age.
Yeah, but as a kid you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Wow. And what's your favourite part of the musical? What scene can't you get enough of?
Oh, one that I do or one that I see?
Either.
The one that
I guess you see a lot off stage as well.
I won't say too much about it, but the one that I do is with the favourite that I get to be a part of is with the young gentlemen who are in the show. So the 4 young gentlemen who rotate through and play the same role. That's really special because children are a lot more responsive and unpredictable, but I mean that in a really positive way, in that they actually listen to you and respond to you and offer you something totally different sometimes than as adults. We're also well trained, you know, and so sometimes the instinct, we get into a bit of a pattern, whereas those kids individually, they all offer something different every night, and then you've got 4 of them. So you've got 4 different styles altogether as well. So that's a really special scene, that one. And then my favourites that I get to watch, or the one that I'm not in, is probably the opening number, so the opening song of the show, just because have you seen the show?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So it's I just don't think I've ever seen that in a theatre show before.
Yeah.
The vocal spectacular, the physical spectacular, and then the technical spectacular. I've never seen that in a theatre show.
Well, especially making it feel, that opening scene, making it feel like you're actually in a concert.
Mental.
Yeah.
Like totally
it's like,
mental.
whoa.
Yeah. It is a bit overwhelming for the senses because you're not expecting it, but I think that's what's so awesome about it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you know the world that you're in, and you understand the heightened celebrity that this girl is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I bet the songs get stuck in your head, because I know they were stuck in my head all night. I was like, I'm not going to go to sleep.
It doesn't. I don't think I could ever get sick of it. I was training on Sunday morning, and I had an entire warehouse to myself, and so I put my own music on the speakers, and for 2 hours I listened to Whitney's greatest hits. And I'm just not sick of it. I couldn't get sick of it.
Even though I'm in the musical, I'm still going to listen to the songs. Yeah, and you've done a fantastic job on stage when I saw it. You know, you're such a lovely guy, but on stage, you were really scary.
Yeah, cool.
So you've definitely achieved that. Did you get a little frightened of yourself as well? I
think some things do come scarily naturally sometimes. Yeah, some things. But there's definitely... there is, and I will be honest to say that I walked the fine line of being scary and being intimidating, or just actually being a guy who happens to be thinking something and doing something, and it's very obvious the two when you're trying to be scary or when you're trying to be intimidating, as opposed to when you're just being a guy who wants to do something or who has an intention, and that's what's unnerving, not the fact that he is a pantomime villain. So that has been fun to make that little discovery.
Yeah, because big difference between this and Rocky. You're playing the bad guy now.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved that job. But how cool is that? You know, you can only
so much
run
fun
around
playing the
with
villain.
a cartoon voice with squeaky clean golden boy for so long before you just want to
You want to be the bad
people,
guy.
And that's what I get to do now. How cool is it?
So what did you do to prepare for this role? Did you watch some other villain movies, stuff like that?
I actually watched Homeland.
Really?
Which won't make much sense to someone who hasn't seen it, why I would be watching Homeland to prepare for this. But the world that they live in, Homeland, is very much the world that my character comes from. So I watched Homeland. I did a bit of research into... I don't want to say too much, but basically into that world that he would have come from, to understand how he might have been psychologically affected. That's our tenor.
Welcome to the Bodyguard, guys.
Thank you, Andrew Hazard. That's mainly how I prepared, and again, just figured out what the real reasons. Why was he doing this? Why was he doing that? Where did he come from? Where was he going? And that sort of does its work for you a little bit.
Yeah, because you got to get into that, as an actor, get into that character and know why he is doing that.
Because he doesn't think he's weird.
Exactly, he just thinks he's normal.
That's it. So you don't judge, you don't judge the person, the character that you're playing through the same eyes as you would
normally.
As you.
Yeah. And you have such a beautiful voice, but in this musical you didn't have any singing parts. How does that make you feel?
Well, thank you. But
I was a bit sad. I was like, he's got to have a singing part eventually, right? I don't know.
It's a nice relief, actually.
Oh, really?
Don't get me wrong. There is nothing more awesome than standing on stage and delivering a song. But it's like same thing, like diversity. Isn't it nice to also know that you can be hired to just act? That's cool.
Yeah.
And there is there's a lot of upkeep and a lot of pressure for those guys who do the 8 shows a week vocally, and I've been there, and that is it's a hard job. So it is it is nice to have one less thing to stress about.
Yeah, a bit of a break for your voice.
Yeah, but I do miss it, of course.
Yeah, because I was watching some of the videos when you took over the Instagram page for a week and doing some jams. And
so clearly,
was it here in this dressing room?
Right here, yeah. Like clearly a starved singer still.
Yeah.
So I do find myself just singing constantly in the shower, here, everywhere, walking around backstage. I think because I am still starved of wanting to sing a little bit.
Yeah, because you're not doing it on stage at the moment, but you know, in the future. And for those who don't know as well, you are a resident aerialist at Sydney Slide Lounge El Soco. Is that how you pronounce that? That's incredible. How long have you been doing that for?
El Soco or aerials?
Both. There's a lot of training involved.
It's the same answer, really, because that's where I started. So I was singing. I was a resident singer at Slide, doing their cabarets there, and then we did some touring stuff, taking around some circus shows. And I would just watch these aerialists and acrobats every night, and eventually I was just like, I need to learn this. And that was 2012, 2013, and then it was just one of those funny like movie scenarios where I'd only been training for a few months, and then someone like ran in with their hands flailing in the air saying, so and so's injured themselves, we need someone this weekend, are you ready? And I was like, I'm not, but sure. Like, and then did it, and then, you know, I was probably terrible, and so then once I got that foot in the door, I just kept training. So yeah, probably about 4 or 5 years.
So you took that opportunity. Good on you.
Yeah, I mean, before I was a singer there, I was a bartender. So
there you go.
It's like, you've got to climb
That's your
the
home
ladder.
now, yeah.
And now to get a job on the bar at Slide, you have to have graduated from NIDA and you have to put in an audition video.
I like that.
Well, that's a joke.
Yeah.
You don't
Oh,
have to
okay.
do that.
We'll get on that. I liked that idea. So, is that your main form of exercise now? 'Cause a lot of training involved.
So, yeah, the training that would make you capable of being an aerialist or an acrobat is how I train, yes. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I train hanging off curtains. It's just
you
that
could, but...
I could. Like at the moment, particularly because I'm not performing aerials, because I'm doing this, I've taken the opportunity to step away from apparatus. I'm not touching a trapeze or silks really at all.
It's going to be hard to get back into then.
But I'm doing stuff, like I'm doing the boot camp. Like I'm doing the boot camp work, so I'm swinging off bars, I'm doing strict gymnastics rings training, I'm doing handstand sessions a couple of times a week, so it's all the stuff that is going to make swinging around a trapeze and silks feel easy and fun, which is what it should. You know, that should be the time when you express yourself, and the hard work goes before that. So, but yeah, that's how I train. I don't lift weights. I just, except for Olympic weightlifting, that's the only weightlifting that I do.
Are you joking? Are you serious?
Oh, I'm serious. I'm
wow,
dead
that's
serious.
impressive.
Yeah. So apart from like squats, deadlifts, clean and jerks, snatches and that sort of stuff, which I'll do once a week, maybe twice a week, I don't touch weights. It's all body weight.
That's impressive, isn't it?
Well,
see, you could get this from this aerial skills.
We've been given a tool, so
I
like,
know.
you know, yeah.
You're using your body weight instead.
Yeah, totally. Why like lie down on a bench and push and pull when you could
if you're doing exercise, it might as well be fun, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And have an end goal beyond just putting more weight on that bar.
Yeah. And as we were chatting off when we're off the camera, that I've been doing aerial silks for the past few months, so I completely know what you're talking about. I understand it.
Yeah.
Some people probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's fantastic. Keep it up. I'm going to have to come along and watch that one day.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, because I've seen the photos and I'm mesmerised. It's like a whole different world. It's magical. Now, Brendan, even though you've already achieved so much, amazing roles in musicals so far, what else can we expect from you in the future?
I'd really love to start tying in these vocals with this acrobatics a little bit more. And I don't mean even at once necessarily, but you know, getting involved in maybe some more fringe style shows or tent shows. Or even like your touring Les Soirées, or something like that. Maybe even developing my own if I've got a couple of ideas of that I could put together. So a big sort of mishmash of musicians, singers and acrobats. Other than that, there's a couple of musicals that are coming that I would really like to get involved with. So when they get announced, they're pretty strongly rumoured. and
Fingers crossed, hopefully.
yeah,
You get in?
We've all heard about Anastasia getting talked about, so that's a big one. I'd really love to get involved.
Yeah, I heard
But
that too.
I don't know how
I'll be
far
in
off
the
that
audience.
And drama. I want to get into TV drama.
Ooh, I can see that.
I wanted to do that since I was a kid, and I just got way more swept into theatre. But yeah, I'd like to go back to that.
Well, with the Stalker, hopefully you get into some TV drama and be the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like complete opposite of what you actually are from how I only met him today, but he might have another side, but we don't know yet. And Brendan, what advice would you give to the listeners who might want to follow their dreams of getting into musical theatre or aerial?
That's a really good question. I think regardless of what it is, whether it's music theatre, whether it's acrobatics, or whether it's just, even if it's not the creative world or artistic world that you're involved with, someone summed it up, and I can't remember who it was or where it was years ago, and they said that you should diversify your pursuits and your hobbies and your passions and your skill sets, whether they are this one in the same thing or not. So your skill sets may not be your passions, but they may be. But regardless of what they are, diversify them, do as many as you can, and always try and make sure that one of those skill sets or passions makes you money. One of them lets you express yourself creatively, and one of them nourishes your physical self, so keeps your body and your soul in check.
Ooh, I like that.
And I think that's really important, because it's all well and good to run around and say, I want to be in music theatre, I want to be in music theatre, I want to be in music theatre, and but what does that mean? And there's more to one person than one thing. So just broaden your skill set, broaden your passions.
For really anything. Doesn't have to be musical theatre either.
Exactly.
Yeah,
everything.
It's good life advice for everybody.
Yeah, that was deep.
Yeah. Hey, advice has to be deep. It's good. Well, we are getting to the end of the interview, unfortunately. It's gone very quickly. But as a closing statement, and was probably the most important question, knowing what you know now, what would you tell your 14-year-old self?
Oh, that's a really big question. Because when you're 14, you think you you believe you can achieve anything.
That is very true.
And I certainly did. And then I hit about 15 or 16, and some awful realities, or at least what I thought were realities, started to hit hard, and social norms and ways we can or can't accept ourselves. And I, all of a sudden, those dreams were squashed. And I squashed them myself. It was no one else who did it. I believed that I couldn't do any of those things anymore, and that I wasn't worthy of those things. And then I went into a very sort of destructive state for a good 5 or 6 years. And it then took all that time to sort of undo all that, and then to realize that no, I could, and go back to that 14-year-old self. And believe that I could do them, believe that I was worthy of them, and believe that have faith that if I put in the hard work, that something would come of that. And so that's the biggest piece of advice I would give, is don't lose that. Don't lose that self-belief that you have when you're 13, 14, before the real world starts sort of crushing you.
It's unfortunate, isn't it?
Telling you, otherwise.
It's sad that the world does do that, but imagine what we could achieve if you did stay like that.
And I think that's the role, particularly of artists as well.
Yes.
We're given a platform, and we're given thousands of sets or millions of sets of eyes potentially looking at us, and so we've got two responsibilities there, and that is on that stage or in that medium of whatever art form we're performing in, to perhaps change people's perspective. And then also as humans in society, away from that character, as Brendan to maybe right a few wrongs, or like nudge a few elbows, tread on a few toes, like for good.
Yeah, be that positive role model, right?
Yeah. Totally.
That's great. And before we go, if the listeners would like to contact you or find out what you're up to, where should they go?
Oh, social media.
I love how you answer that. Just social media, guys.
Social media, it's all there. Or otherwise, of course, my agent, Wendy Richards at Working Management, who is gorgeous and looks after me very well.
Oh, good. And easy enough to find you on social media. Yeah. Take it from me.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's great. You got to be these days.
Yeah, fully.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Brendan. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for the great question.
I know that you're... Oh, thank you. I know that you're busy, and good luck with the rest of the Bodyguard musical.
Thank you.
And we'd definitely love to have you on again in the future.
Yeah, cool.
Like, I do have other questions for you, but obviously don't have the time today. But in the future, we'll keep in contact and we'll make it happen. Great. But for everyone watching, make sure to check out the Bodyguard musical. You will not regret it. But for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks,
bye.